Well, here we are back at Pioneer Bar here in Fredericksburg, ready for another great show.
Judge and JD show. He's JD, I'm Judge.
Something
and we're glad
like
y'all
that.
are here today. I'm going to see if you're paying attention. Are you awake? Are you awake?
I pay attention every now
Are you
and
awake?
then.
Are you awake? Are you awake?
Hey, that's a good-looking drink in front of us there.
Yeah. Hey, we got a money show for you today.
Is Vanna White coming on? I heard she was in Fredericksburg.
I hear she's still in the cabana waiting for JD.
She's in the cabana in Fredericksburg.
We're back on the Judge and JD show. As promised, we've got a big one for you today, a money show, right?
Big money show. Big money show. Exciting stuff. Got Jimmy Alexander coming on. He got to go on Wheel of Fortune. We had a big watch party for him last week, and he's going to tell us all about it.
Got Texas singer-songwriter Jarrod Johnson. We're going to talk some music with Jarrod, and he's got a new little barbecue place on weekends in Brady, Texas.
Oh, nice.
We're going to talk about that as
might
well.
have to ride on the tour bus up to Brady.
Get some good old Texas
The
barbecue.
Weinheimer Tours.
What do we got here? This looks good. This looks like a toast.
This looks
to
like
the Judge and JD show.
a little toast.
We're kicking butt. We found out we're doing better than some of the podcasts that have been on for 5 years.
You know, I got JD to spend a little time last night, and went through the YouTube analytics and stuff.
Yeah.
And man, our viewers are killing it for us. We appreciate it. You guys are out there knocking it out, and it really our analytics make us head and shoulders above our peers, that sort of thing. And our viewers did that for us, and we appreciate it.
So thank you. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
And what are we drinking?
We're having a salted caramel mimosa.
Apple? Is there apple?
Apple cider in there.
Is that the right name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why don't we ask Kristen for the correct name? Because as usual, you guys have messed this up.
Caramel apple mimosa.
Caramel apple
mimosa.
mimosas. Cheers to our our audience
Cheers
with
to
the
the
caramel
fall and-
apple mimosa. See,
Damn,
even I
that's
got it
good.
wrong.
That is real good. That tastes like the fall.
All right.
It does.
Are
You know,
we
it's getting
ready to
cooler.
give some drawing? Let's do some drawings.
Oh,
Let's give
yeah.
away some free merch.
I'm sorry, I'm
I
chomping
know.
on
It's
an
like
apple.
I think you guys got drunk just off those 2 sips. Let's do the
They were
giveaway,
pretty-
dudes.
It's pretty good. Let's see if we got. We got.
That's good.
Is it? We want to call it an Aggie cap.
We'll call it an Aggie cap today.
Like Aggie colors.
How about the Aggies beating Notre Dame? That was a hell of a game.
That was the game.
Who we got?
It's hard. I don't know. Broke it here. Put on the glasses. Brandy.
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 You're a fine
Ashley,
girl.
we got a Brandy. Brandy, we'll get in touch with you. I hope you are an Aggie or not a Longhorn if in this case. But anyway, thanks for playing.
We love Pioneer Bar, baby. 212 East Main, Fredericksburg. Don't forget Weinheimer Tours if you want one of the best wine tours in Fredericksburg, Texas.
Great
Look us up.
times.
All right, Jarrod Johnson coming up, our musical guest. Also, first, Jimmy Alexander.
First, Jimmy Alexander.
Jimmy!
Yeah, gonna tell us all about Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel. Oh. It's not spinning. Fortune.
Well, we even got the geriatric one for you, and it didn't work.
JD's having a little trouble with the wheel here.
I'm feeling it, though.
Man, as we promised, we're bringing on Jimmy Alexander, my father-in-law. He was on Wheel of Fortune.
How impressive.
It was a pretty cool deal.
It was
Pretty
impressive.
Cool deal. Why don't you bring him on, JD?
All right, you ready? Let's do it, ladies and gentlemen. Jimmy Alexander. The Wheel of Fortune Pro. You got paid, so that makes you a professional.
Bro.
Well, I appreciate
Sorry,
you guys.
I got it. I'm probably more excited than you were on the show.
Well, no, I was pretty excited. I have to.
You should have seen him in here the other night. He was pretty wound up.
It was pretty exciting. Well, I appreciate you guys having me on. I've been watching this podcast since you guys started, and you guys are doing a great job with this thing. So
Well,
I
thank you.
appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, Judge was telling me off mic, how you you basically had to audition for this entire thing. Is that right?
Yeah, so the kind of the process, I went into this thing thinking that they just pick a name out of a hat or something, to get the to get the contestants on there, but it's nothing like that. So the grandkids were actually the ones that talked me into applying for it, because we'd be sitting on the couch and we're watching Wheel of Fortune, and I'm, it's easy on the couch, and so the grandkids are all impressed, and so they said, well, Papa, you need to apply to get on the show, and right then it just so happened that on TV it said, if you want to be a contestant, here's what you do. So we went online, made the application, and about, I'd say, a couple of months later went by. You're thinking it's kind of like buying a lottery ticket. You get it, but you don't think it's really ever going to happen. Well, a couple of months later, they contacted me and said, "Hey, we liked your application. Please send us a video. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Be energetic, be enthusiastic. Tell us what you do for a living, a little bit about your family, all of that kind of stuff." And so I'm thinking, okay, well, did the video, sent that in. And a couple of months later, go by, you're thinking that'd probably be the end of it. Well, a couple of months later, go by, and they contacted me again, and they said, hey, we liked your video. We want to take you to the next step, which is a online Zoom interview with one of the producers.
Hello.
Yeah, so, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, gosh, this is kind of getting a little real now. And so we did the Zoom audition with the producer. And at the end of it, he tells you, well, thank you for your time. We may or may not be in touch, that kind of thing. And you're thinking, okay, that's the end of that. They get hundreds or thousands of these every day, applications. So anyway, a couple of more months go by, and they said, hey, we liked your interview with the producer. We want to take you to the next step, which is a online Zoom audition with the senior producers, and it's and you're going to be going up against some other potential contestants, like about 4 or 5 other potential contestants. And
Showdown.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so I'm thinking to myself, holy cow! I really never thought I'd get to that point. But anyway, so we did that, and And in that whole thing, in that whole process, that lasted probably close to an hour of trying to solve puzzles.
How'd you do?
And I did okay. No, I didn't do great. I did okay.
Yeah,
but the other guys did okay too. So again, I didn't knock it out of the park or anything, but I did okay. But again, at the end of it, they say, "Thank you for your time, everybody. We may or may not be in touch."
So that's 4 steps.
That's 4 steps.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And so about probably 4 or 5 months later, I get an email from them and said, "Hey, congratulations, you've been selected to be on the show. We want you in L.A. on August 20th, and here's some of the Then they have a whole bunch of attachments to this email about all things about wardrobe, about guests, that you can bring along, and all the different things that go along with
secrecy type stuff.
Yeah. So that came along with it too. Those were some of the steps. But anyway, so when I read that one, I tell you, in this whole process, I think when I read that email was probably the most nervous that I was nervous as heck being on the show, but I'm telling you, when I read that, and it was, okay, now it's real. It's like, okay, we made it. And so anyway, yeah.
Wow, what an experience.
Yeah, it really was. It's like I said, I kind of went into it thinking, not having any idea about that process, about how that process goes. And I thought, honest to God, I thought it was just random. I thought, you put in an application, and if you're lucky enough to get your name picked, you go. I thought that was it, but it's not like that.
Yeah. And you and Kristen, Lauren, and Lisa went. I didn't get to make
They
it.
got a little.
Y'all
got a little TV time.
Yeah, you did get a little TV time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they allow you 4 guests. Of course, all the grandkids wanted to go.
Of course.
But they were already in school, and
Maybe we'll have the Wheel of Fortune for the grandkids on here.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to do that. But so you get to bring 4 guests along, and so luckily Alicia and Kristen and Lauren got to come, and what really helped me, I'm going to tell you, that's a big help to me was when it was my turn. We were out on stage and all that, and I could look up in the audience, and I could see those three sitting up there. You know, it's just it does calm you a little bit. You know, for those of us like you guys are pros in front of the camera, but for guys
No,
like
they're
me,
not. They're
No,
really not.
we're not. We're not.
No,
we're
they're
getting
not.
better each episode, but thank you.
well, for guys like me who are never in front of the camera and aren't really all that comfortable in front of the camera, you know, to be, you know, and just the idea that you're going to be on national TV in front of millions of people and stuff, you know, and to look up in the up in the audience and to be able to see some friendly faces was very calming. And so I was so happy, so glad that
That's
they
a
all
good
got to
point.
make it. Yeah.
And you went through, like, what are Universal Studios or what
Sony.
was it?
Sony Studios. Yeah. That's
So
where
you
it's
kind of got to
I've always
see.
thought that would be a really cool experience.
Yeah, was there
to
some
see.
movies or anything else filmed, or was it mainly other game shows and such? What was all in there?
Jeopardy is filmed there. We part of our preliminary process that day. I mean, they tape 6 shows in a day. Wheel of Fortune does.
Wow.
And so when we went in, the contestants had to be there at 6:30 in the morning. And so we get there, and they immediately took us all to the Jeopardy studio, and that's where we because Jeopardy wasn't filming there that particular day. And so we went in there for a bunch of briefings and that's where they actually did wardrobe, hair, makeup, all of that stuff. And so we went into there, and then we did get to go out. There was times where we'd have some breaks and stuff, and we'd go out onto the lot, the Sony Studios lot, and you know, just a whole bunch of big, gigantic buildings, and there's people running around, you know, going in and out of all these buildings. But so there was stuff going on in there. There was filming and taping going on, but don't know really exactly what. There was a lot of stuff happening.
Did you have your lucky underwear and socks on?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
All yeah.
That was going to be one of my main questions.
Yeah.
It's,
No, you know, I used to have a lucky shirt that I wore like when I would go to the casino. If I had like a lucky day at the casino, I'd have like a lucky shirt that I wore. But then I'd wear it the next time, and I didn't win. and so I thought, well, it's not lucky anymore. So I don't think there is anything to any of that.
And Ryan Seacrest seems like a genuinely nice guy. I mean, when he's on the screen, did you feel like he was just
Yeah, actually,
you know, down to earth and such?
Very. You know, actually, all of them were. What really impressed me about the whole process was even all everybody from the stage people, the sound people, the camera people, the producers, directors, the crew. Everybody was very good about trying to keep us calm and keep us, you know, focused and keep us, you know, because they know that people like us aren't in front of the camera and that kind of thing. And so they were all very good. But Ryan Seacrest and Vanna, very down to earth, very, very nice. Luckily, since I made it to the bonus round, I got to actually spend a little bit more time with Ryan Seacrest, you know, while they were setting up for the bonus round and all that stuff. So I got to have some conversations with him. We stood there and talked for a while they were doing some things. And but everybody there, very, very accommodating, very, very nice. Yeah, very good.
Nothing like the Judge and JD show.
Yeah.
We don't even have wardrobe or makeup here
Well,
for you.
I was going to say, they said they film like 6 films a day. With these two, is it their attention span? We can barely get one in.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Wait a minute. Wait. With these two, I'm
it's all
assuming you're
3 of
talking
us.
about the two sitting at the table,
Yeah,
right?
maybe it's all 3 of us.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's a long day. It makes for a long day when you're there from 6:30 in the morning. I was in the 3rd group that was being taped, and so by the time I got done with my taping, it was probably about 2:30 or so, somewhere in there. And I'm telling you, by the time I was done with my taping was over with, I was pretty exhausted, pretty wrung out. Yeah, but you know, wouldn't trade it for the world. I mean, it was just I got some lucky breaks. Obviously, if you watch the show, you'll see that I came really close to bankrupt a couple of times.
Yeah. It was like the one time it was like
Leaning.
Yeah, and actually, that was the round that I won that round, and I was able to use my wild card because I was on a high dollar amount. I was on the $2,500 wedge, and I was able to use that for some extra money, and it's really
weren't you like? Well, what we saw the first round, didn't you have like 21 grand already or something like that?
Well, that was
if my memory serves me correct.
Well,
I remember you got a large sum of money pretty quickly.
Yeah, I did.
It seemed quickly on TV,
Yeah,
but
I did. Well,
maybe not to you.
Well, the first thing they do is the toss-ups. They'll do the toss-up rounds, and I jumped in quick on the first toss-up, thinking that because I knew it was either or one word. It was either can't or don't, and I guessed one of the others, and it was the wrong one, so I missed that one. But then they do the introductions, and then they do a second toss-up, and I got that one. So that allowed me to be the first to spin on the spin rounds. And so I got to spin first, and luckily the letters I was guessing were there. I was able to buy vowels, and all the vowels were in that puzzle.
Right.
And then about the second to last spin that I did, I landed on the wild card. Well, the way the game works is if you get that wild card, you can keep it to the end if you make it to the end, if you make it to the bonus round, but not everybody does. And so, or you also have the choice, you can use that wild card. If you land on like a high dollar amount, you can use it to guess another letter if you get the first one right. And I did. And I was able to use that, and that was a big turning point for me. I mean, it got me a lot of money, and then I could solve the puzzle because the letter I guessed there helped me with the word that I wasn't sure about. There was three words in the puzzle. It was electronic dance music.
I remember that.
Yeah,
one.
electronic dance music, and I had dance music, and I knew there was some C's in that one. In dance and in music, and so I used that wild card for that, and luckily there was also 2 C's in electronic, and so in the word electronic, so that got me 4 times the $2,500 wedge. That was 20 grand right there,
right?
And I'm sorry, 10 grand right there, and so and anyway, then I could guess electronic. I could solve the puzzle, and yeah.
And how in the hell did you get Caribou Crossing?
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, Jennifer and I were going,
caribou around here.
I know.
what's a caribou? Hey, honey, Google
caribou.
Safari. Caribou?
Yeah.
Safari? Anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, and honestly, there's a funny story behind that because one of the things that I realized when I got to actually watch the show is some of the things that they cut. And and so in that particular puzzle, I was actually behind. That was the last puzzle before the bonus round, and so I was behind the other contestant. It was real close between me and her, and so we
That's
were.
Right. She had 20-something thousand.
I think she had like 23 something, and I had 22 something or 23 something, but she was a little bit ahead of me. And so we're going through all the letters, and we got a lot of the letters on there, and we had crossing. That was an easy one. We didn't have the vowels, but we had all the consonants on that word, so that one was the easy one. And the subject was sign of the time, so we knew it was some sort of a sign. And the three of us, all 3 contestants, were guessing all kinds of letters. There's a big monitor up there by the board that the contestants can see, that nobody else can see, and we're looking at that monitor, and we're guessing all these other letters, P and M and L, and more common.
And they cut all this out, right?
Right.
Oh, okay.
Right, and we were going round and round, guessing all those more common letters. None of them were in there, and but fortunately for me, it got back to my turn, and the only thing that was up on that monitor that was left was letters like Q and Z and X and stuff that I was pretty sure weren't in there. But there was a B left, and so I guess B. That was really the only one that was that I had thought had any chance of it, and then that was in So then I had the C, I think the C, the B. That might have been and the R. The C, the C, the R, and the B. And I knew it was crossing, so what kind of a crossing could it be? And at the last second, it kind of came to me. It just kind of came to me, and I got it right under the wire, and that's what put me over the top. But the funny thing about that is all those other letters that we guessed, when I got to watch it, after the fact, they cut all that out because we were going round and round guessing letters.
Because that was a dang tough one.
It wasn't easy, but
But they made it look easy on the TV show. They made it look like
Yeah, they did.
made it look like Jimmy was smart as can be. Like he just got that instantly.
Well, good point. I mean, exactly. I mean, it was like, oh yeah, B. Yeah, I know that's in Caribou Crossing. Yeah, but really, what you didn't see is all. I mean, we basically it was B by default because that was like one of the only letters that would have made any sense at all.
Right.
Yeah.
And I got to ask, when you got home, did you light your workbench on fire? Throw it in the dumpster?
Oh my God, that's going to be a word that's gonna haunt me the rest of my life.
That was literally impossible. I mean,
I could have stared at that for an hour and never got it. I mean, when I picked the category of around the house, I mean, of the choices that I had, some of those categories are so vague, like thing or event or a phrase. Those are so vague it could be pretty much anything. Well, around the house, I thought kind of narrows things down a little bit. So that's why I picked that category. Because that's the only time in the whole show you actually get to pick the category is when you're in the bonus round. And so I picked that thinking it would kind of narrow it down. So when the letters came out and then I got to guess my letters, I mean, if I'd have guessed a W or maybe a K, I might have got it. But the letters I picked weren't on there except for O. That one was on there. So I basically had a few letters and but it was one of those that just did not pop in my head.
Letters to make the word kind of appear.
Because that's kind of exactly. That's kind of how a lot of them get solved. Is like you either kind of recognize it or you don't. And I mean, other than when there's everything up there but a couple of letters. But if you're trying to guess it early on and trying to figure out letters that might be in there. The ones I guessed were not in there, and it just didn't come to me, and it was one of those things where, I mean, now I look back at it and I look at that when I watched it the second time, I was like, oh my God, I should have got that, but
hell no.
But the other thing I think of it is around when they're talking about around the house. I was thinking of more something in the kitchen or in the house.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking appliances.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and
I was not thinking workbench.
Well, that's where my mind was there. It wasn't
not on the garage.
No, not at all. And now every time I walk by my workbench in my garage, I just want to take a sledgehammer to it.
Well, was it a fun experience? I mean, I know you said you were nervous, but I mean, once you get past that, did you? I mean,
you did great.
Thank you.
I mean, you were like superior.
Well, thank you. I was really happy with the outcome. Obviously, I got some lucky breaks in there. The whole experience was super good. The thing that looking back at it, that really one of the things that stands out to me is that all the stuff leading up to it. They even tell you, put the app on your phone and start practicing, practicing solving puzzles and doing all, and then watch the show. So you're doing all this kind of stuff, and so I tried to do the best I could to prepare, for this. And then you get there at the studio at 6:30 in the morning, and you got this whole long day of all this different stuff that they're running you through the mill, getting you ready for, but then the actual time that it was my turn, be on the show, being taped and all that. It was like a blur. I mean, honestly, that part of it. Even though there's still a lot of things that, I mean, it takes a while to tape that half an hour show. It probably takes close to an hour, maybe more. I don't know. I didn't time it, but it just seemed to me, looking back at it, that part of it was just it was just a blur.
Well, and even on the flip side, I texted Judge. I said, maybe it's because Jimmy was on there, but I didn't realize how fast this dang show goes by. I mean, it was like done, here and done.
Well, if you think about it, of a 30-minute show, probably 18 or 20 minutes is what's actually aired. The rest is commercials. Right. And so for them to, what has to lead up to that 20 minutes of airtime is, I mean, there's a whole lot that happens, but then when it's time for that, it's like, boom, it goes, that part, to me, really went quickly. And, but yeah,
You got casino money for a while?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
What's
What's
your
up?
go-to at the casino?
Actually, he said he's taking
The
us
Wheel
to
of Fortune
dinner.
slots.
Is it slots?
Believe it or not, that's his game.
I should have known.
No, I like to play all the different games, but I do play the Wheel of Fortune slots. They're fun. But
We're definitely casino buddies. So.
Yeah.
Oh, I love casinos too. I'm going to go.
When
The
he
three of
heads
us are
out-
going.
Yeah.
When he heads out for the casino, I always tell the girls, he's getting up on in years. I can't just let him go by himself.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to go watch the old man.
Yeah. He's got to hold my walker in my wheelchair.
Somebody makes sure the old man can get around the casino. So I get stuff going on with him.
And I know you rub Jimmy's head for luck.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
you rub Judge's head. No, no.
Well, actually, when my grandson Jack at the time was the only grandchild at that time, I remember I was headed out to a casino trip, and I had to stop by and bring something to Kristen, and I rubbed his head. And in fact, his nickname now is Jackpot Jack.
Big winner.
Jackpot Jack, because the first time I rubbed his head like that, I went to the casino and I did hit a jackpot, and so we nicknamed him Jackpot Jack.
And he's also very fortunate because he has a really good-looking dad. Jack does. Jack
Ryan
does.
Seacrest's
That's funny because he
kinda
looks
looking
just
guy.
like his
Yeah.
mom.
You look like Ryan with a cap on
Yeah.
right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Did you hear me, Judgy? I said it's funny because Jack looks just like his mom.
He does look a lot like his father. He looks like his grandfather, but he looks like.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Can I have this?
Yeah.
I was
You can have it.
I was
You
going to
can have
see what he would say.
Hey, it's the one.
I
Hey,
want
it's
to take Jimmy's name tag.
well. Hey, it's the one thing that I got to come back with.
Congratulations, man.
I couldn't help but bring up. I mean, I hope everybody had as good a time as I did at the watch party. That was a good old Fredericksburg party. It was some good
Absolutely.
old school.
And you
people
represented Fredericksburg
You did.
well.
Well,
You did.
I'll
I
tell
wish
you.
I could have made it up here.
I think
didn't
the
get to make
paper
it.
had
but
it this week too.
Yeah, they did. Well,
It was
and
a heck of a shindig.
And let me tell you, I have heard from so many people that were there here that night for the watch party how great a time they had. Well, part of in my opinion,
This is a good crowd.
it was a great crowd,
Local,
and it was exciting. Well, and I'll tell you, in my opinion, a big part of what made it such a fun party is that nobody knew the outcome of
Right.
the show. We have to sign that non-disclosure.
Right.
We
And-
didn't even know.
Right.
Kristen wouldn't even tell me.
Kristen, Lauren, Leisha, and I were the only four, and we made a pact. We made a pact when we were still out in L.A., and we said, well, first of all, I had to sign a thing, but they didn't have to sign anything. But I said, you guys, let's keep it to ourselves. Don't even tell one person, because number one, it'll get if you do one person, it's going to get out.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
and secondly,
Judge.
and secondly, when we do the watch party, it's going to make the watch party 100 times better when people don't know the outcome.
Exactly.
And I heard from so many people that were there that said that made it so much fun, because they were kind of on the edge of their seat a little bit, because I was behind going into that last round and all that. And every time I'd miss one, everybody here would be like, "Oh," or somebody'd yell out, "What an idiot!" Sometimes that was me. Sometimes that was me yelling that.
I love it. Well,
Yeah.
you kicked some good old Fredericksburg, Texas ass up there.
Yeah.
Dude, seriously, you represented the community
was-
so well. And I know there was a lot of excitement. I mean, just on my Facebook post alone, I posted,
Yeah,
I
you
had
did.
like 20, 30 shares on it. So I mean,
Yeah.
everybody was excited for you, rooting for you, and the outcome was outstanding.
Yeah.
Man. Great job, Jimmy.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It was a thrill. I mean, once in a lifetime type of thing. It was great to have my family
My
out there.
daughter
and all
wants
that.
to get
Yeah.
on Big Brother someday, so maybe
Okay.
I'll have her get with you on what she
Yeah.
needs to do to.
Yeah.
She's been watching that show since she was just tiny. You know,
Yeah.
she's like a super fan or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
We'll see if we can't get Ella on
Well,
Big
and
Brother someday.
Jimmy, I may just found out I may be going to Oklahoma on Saturday, maybe going to WinStar, so we may need to
Yeah.
go parlay it.
Yeah,
You know
absolutely.
what I mean?
You might want to drag JD.
Yeah,
with
Jay,
you.
I'll take old JD
Yeah.
up there. We'll make a podcast.
Maybe I'll wear my name tag, and maybe that'll give me some luck or something.
Well, thanks for coming on with us.
Appreciate you having me.
It was difficult to schedule you.
Yeah.
It's tough getting him on it. Tough to find.
Well, luckily, you had some connections.
Well, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it, Jimmy. And once again, bam.
Yeah.
You took some Wheel of Fortune money home.
Yeah.
Good old chunk.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, appreciate you guys having me.
Yep.
Yeah. Enjoyed it.
All right, it's time for another great segment on the Judge and JD Show. Some Texas music.
Texas music, man. That's usually my favorite part. I love it.
Many great Texas singer-songwriters out there, not just in Fredericksburg, but the Hill Country, statewide. I mean,
and we love having them here at Pioneer. I mean, it's just in here on the podcast, and it's just it's a great thing.
It is. And without further ado, let's bring on our latest Texas artist, ladies and gentlemen, Jarrod Johnson. The crowd loves you, baby. The crowd loves you, baby. The crowd loves you, baby. The crowd loves you, baby.
You were just jazzy today, JD. What's going on with you, brother?
I'm jacked up on caffeine.
Is that what that is?
That's what.
It's that mimosa he had earlier. It's that mimosa he had earlier.
Mimosa and caffeine, bam.
Well, how y'all doing, man?
You know what? We're doing great today.
I've been so impressed with the shorts I'm getting across my social media feed, by the way.
Oh, cool.
JD, we've been friends for a while. And what I'm most impressed with is the way y'all have this set up. You make him actually look good.
That's not the easiest thing to do.
It is not the easiest thing, considering he's a human Q-tip.
It takes the whole team.
Miracles happen.
But I'm also thrilled that he's doing something like this, because if
I thought he was going to say actually doing something.
Doing something?
No. Well, y'all remember him from the K-Fan days and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's no reason this man should not be at least in the Texas Radio Hall of Fame.
I believe that.
No
I
reason,
agree 100%.
no reason at all. And perhaps perhaps even the National Radio Hall of Fame, just for what he did here with K-Fan and everything. I mean, people don't realize what this man has done for radio in the Hill Country.
And Americana music.
Yep.
Well, thank you.
Your kind of music?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's, he was a believer in it before it was...
Before it was cool.
Before it was popular like it is today.
Cool.
We've talked a lot about that.
He was, and man, nobody
Do
deserves
y'all hear that noise?
What's that?
It sounds like JD's head is inflaming. It's like swelling up. That's all I hear is
Well, thank you.
Absolutely,
Jarrod. I really do
absolutely.
appreciate it.
We were talking before I came on, and how nervous I was when that first time I met you. I was doing a co-radio tour with Miles Williams, who's in the Hank Williams bloodline somewhere. That's where he got his last name from, and I met you for the first time, and I'll never forget. I was playing a song that I wrote that Buddy Jewell actually cut called "Am I Still Wanted in Tennessee?"
That's right.
And my hands were shaking so bad, and Miles, I could see Miles looking at my hands like, dude, just back it down. This ain't that big of a deal. I'm like, you have no idea. But since then, we've become friends and everything, and it's a lot different now.
Yeah, Jarrod even works on my bus. Jarrod, he has worked on Snoop Dogg's bus.
Oh, really?
I have, yeah. Well, for years.
Did it smell like a skunk in there?
Well, it did. No, for years. So my first publisher, I got my first publishing deal in 1996. A guy named Ron Avis signed me, and I'm going to backtrack a little bit. I told my parents I was supposed to go. I had multiple Division I basketball scholarships.
Oh, nice.
My parents were getting divorced, but they always supported my music. I started playing guitar when I was about 5 or 6 years old. And then I started writing songs around 12, and every time I wrote a new song, I had to play it for all of my parents' friends, which I really hated. I did not enjoy that, but they always supported it. And then when I told them, like, I'm gonna, I'm not going to Stanford. I want to pursue this music thing, and all they had to say was, pick who you're going to live with, and you got to get a job.
Yeah.
And that's what got me into radio. I went to a school, at the time it was called Brown Institute up there in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And I did the 9-month program, but 3 months in, I already had a job offer. So I never even got my certificate. I just went to a little town called Amory, Wisconsin, and was working there. And they sent me over to the Hodag Country Music Festival in Rhinelander to get all the tents set up, because we were doing all these interviews and everything. And backstage, I met a guy named Ron Avis at the catering wagon. And we just started talking, and we just kind of lined up on things. And he's like, well, you want to hear some of the stuff I wrote? And I'm like, sure. And he brings me out back, and we're standing in front of this bus. And he opens up the door, and there's the RT logo. what is going on here? And so I'm going, and so he's playing me these work tapes, which I've played you some of them of the songs that me and Randy Travis have wrote.
Right.
That's just Randy and a guitar. So, and I am just freaking out. Like, I do not belong here. But back then it was all cassette tapes, and you always if you were a songwriter, you always carried cassette tapes of your work tapes with you.
Back in the day, right?
Back in the day. And so he gave me a cassette tape, which, let me tell you, his was way better than mine. Way better. It was like 30 songs of Randy Travis that you'll never hear, unfortunately. But it was just beautiful. And he called me back up 3 days later, and he's like, "Hey man, for a guy up there and nowhere, Wisconsin, not writing with anybody, you're doing a pretty good job. Do you want a publishing deal?" And I said, "Yeah." And my retainer was
And you were like what, 19?
I was 19.
19.
My retainer was $200 a week, and boy, I thought I was living.
You were rolling in it.
I didn't realize though at the time. So if you get a publishing deal, it's a retainer, kind of like a record deal. We talked about this. It's a loan. So the publishing company pays you for so long until they get sick of paying you. But if you can write a song that makes money in that time, they take that retainer back, and the leftovers you get.
Right.
So,
right.
and I had no idea what that meant. I just didn't care, but I figured that out now. So, anyway, I've been doing all the talking, man.
No, that's great. That's great. Somebody got to do it.
Somebody's got to.
But we want to hear we want to hear. Like I didn't know you had a D1 basketball scholarship. I didn't know that.
My father, God rest his soul, he changed the entire. So I was born. We already talked about that. I was born in a town called Coon Rapids, Minnesota. Yeah. Don't laugh.
Whoa. Coon Rapids,
Minnesota. It's right where Coon Creek and the Rum River run into the Mississippi River. There's a big rapids there, and so it was Coon Creek Rapids, and they just shortened it to Coon Rapids. Back in the day. But the first business, they built a dam there to power the plant that was making all the bricks. Because the clay there was good for bricks, so it was a brick manufacturing place, and it built all the towns that are around Coon Rapids, and it just got shortened to that, and the whole thing's an oxymoron. We've got a big raccoon. We got a big raccoon on our water tower, and our high school mascot is the Cardinals. They just can't figure it out. But no, honestly, you could not pay me to live in Minnesota. Again, I'm very happy to be here, but I'm not going to hide from where I come from and all that stuff. So.
Oh no, I think it's great. I love it.
But so the basketball thing, my father, he figured out. I guess I was in 4th or 5th grade the first time I played organized basketball, and he figured out that that's probably my best area to go, and so I quit playing. I quit playing hockey. I quit playing baseball. I quit playing football. I was just basketball, and my dad. Eventually changed the entire basketball culture in Minnesota. So all these great players that you see coming out of Minnesota and going to Gonzaga or going straight to the NBA or whatever. Who's that kid in Oklahoma City? Chip Holmgren, that 7-footer that plays like a point guard. You know who I'm talking about? Yeah. That's a direct result of what my dad did for the Minnesota basketball culture. And
I didn't know that.
But he was also the vice president of. At that time, it was the biggest auto parts chain in the Midwest. It was called Big Will Rossi. So I don't know if you have any listeners up north, but if they're our age, they'll know what Big Will Rossi is. And so it was really cool when I started driving. My dad had an account at the local Big Will Rossi because he was a vice president. I could just go get parts. It was great.
And that's back when working on a car was.
Well, no,
a lot more simple than it is now, right? It's all computerized crap now.
No, he had an office job, but my dad was very hands-on, and maybe that's where I get it from. But it went from holding the flashlight to you're turning this wrench really quick. He made me get in there and do it. I remember the first time I had this 83, it was like a Turismo, a Dodge Turismo, remember that? But it had a Volkswagen engine in it. I was so confused, and I had to replace a water pump. And I replaced the pump, and there was no leaks, but there were still bolts left over.
That's usually when I try.
Dad, I got 6 bolts here, but it's on tight.
It's on tight. There's no leaks, Dad.
It's not leaking.
He was like, "That's okay, JD boy. You're fine." And he called me JD boy. But yeah. I mean, it was a good place to grow up. I grew up on a lake. It was called Crooked Lake, in Coon Rapids, and we had a big. We had a fairly nice house and everything.
Now, did you get into music there? Is that
Oh,
when
yeah.
you started
Oh,
getting into
absolutely.
your
No,
music? So how did all the music come together?
So my
for you?
grandfather, on my father's side, his name was John Anthony Johnson. I never called him Grandpa. We just called him Tony. He was just Tony. And during World War II, he got stationed down in Fort Knox. And my grandmother and that side of the family was always are just music lovers. And so they were stationed down there, and Grandma, while Grandpa was off working on bass, she could pick up, the Grand Ole Opry and WSM out of Nashville and all that stuff, and she just fell in love with bluegrass music. And so that's really where it started. So my dad fell in love with it, and then that's where I got it. And nobody in my family is musical at all for some reason. They love music, and the only reason I started playing guitar is because my older sister I was 4 or 5 years old, and she got to play guitar. And I just wore my parents out until they said, "Fine, you can go take lessons." Honestly, didn't they probably thought he'll take 2 or 3 lessons and we'll be done with this.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Hi,
here
Mom
we
and
are.
Dad. Hi, Mom and Dad.
But you've written some great songs.
I appreciate that,
and,
man.
And
Thank
you've had several top 100, in fact, top 40.
Yeah, one that you helped me get. One that you
songs
helped me
on
get.
the,
Yeah, absolutely.
on the Texas chart.
Yeah, and that's really rewarding. The mailbox money is always appreciated. The business has changed so much, especially since streaming has hit.
Right.
So streaming. So my buddy Michael White, the guy that wrote Raising Humans, he wrote a song with Harley Allen, but God rest his soul as well, called "The Baby" for Blake Shelton.
Great song.
There was one year, for some reason, a couple years ago, that song got like 80 million streams. Michael made $375 off 80 million streams.
Really?
Yeah, that is how bad. I mean, and
It's just so complicated.
well, it's complicated,
That's cray-cray.
but a lot of people don't know that. I mean, and you can say, oh, but I pay for a subscription. It doesn't matter. We still make the same no matter how much you're paying for it.
Mm-hmm.
The best thing you can do, and I'm going to get on my soapbox here.
Well, do it.
No,
Yeah.
the best thing you can do if you really want to help an artist out, and you get your music via streaming, which I understand because I put my music on streaming too. That's how people are going to
Nobody
get it.
pays for it
But-
anymore.
But the best thing you can do is pick out one song that you like of theirs, and then go, because you can still download music, okay? And if you download, if you purchase one of my songs for $1.29, I keep it, because I own everything. I keep $1 of that. That is, I don't know, what is that? Like 10,000 streams. It takes 10,000 streams to make $1 on Spotify or Pandora.
Mm-hmm.
You download one of my songs for $1.29, I make that money in that time.
So what you're saying, if you support an artist,
If you support-
download their music,
Download
download it.
Well, just download just one song.
yeah,
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Download it. And-
money is tight these days for everybody. You
Yeah.
can't just go out and download a whole album,
Right,
but just
right.
download one song. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
And if enough people do that,
I
then,
didn't know that, but yeah.
Yeah.
See, they make more. Artists make more money that way than from the streams.
Oh yeah, we make nothing on streams. Nothing on streams. But if you
That's
buy,
crazy to me.
if you buy the music, just buy one song. Just one song. Just
Right.
buy one song.
Okay.
I know iTunes is a thing of the past, but you can still go on Amazon, and your favorite artist is probably going to have a downloadable version of that song there, where you can purchase it literally for $1 to $1.29. Buy it.
Yeah.
Buy it, and they will make as much money as 10,000 streams.
I like it.
Yeah,
All right.
and that's.
Yeah, it's a complicated thing. I was going to kind of ask you your thoughts on it, but you kind of gave it to us.
No, it's
But it's just for artists to make money now. I mean, you think about it. Like
you got to do shows.
My kids' age, they're 16 and 13. They wouldn't know the first thing about paying for music.
Right,
I mean,
right.
that age. No,
No,
the kids are in college today. They've never paid for music like
No,
we
you-
did.
and-
I have a question though.
Yes, ma'am.
Just real quick. So, what if like people like me are still old school? I prefer vinyl, and I would go out and purchase the vinyl record of
course,
artists.
yeah.
So you guys you still get money off people buying
Yes,
vinyls.
okay, so-
it's just the streaming y'all
Right,
don't make
and-
money
and
on.
And I'm glad vinyl's made a comeback. By
Vinyl-
a lot of
vinyl-
good
That's
Vinyl-
probably
however,
why it is. It's a
yeah,
good point,
good
bud.
question.
Vinyl,
Yeah.
however, is stupid expensive since I'm a self-promoted, self-financed, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It is stupid expensive to produce. But when you can raise the money to get it made, it pays off. And vinyl
does pay off.
vinyl
Yeah.
does pay off.
Yeah,
People
'cause-
love
And
it.
the artist, I think,
Yeah,
to
'cause
her
I-
question, they're making a lot more money than
Well, that's
from the album sales than they would from
right,
Spotify.
and that's another. And I was going to go to this point here, since everyone and it's nobody's fault when you give people something for free and they have an opportunity to pay for it, they're not going to pay for it. That's,
Right.
that's just not how we're wired.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's why you see a lot of artists, and I've let my merch just disintegrate, because I'm doing the barbecue joint now and everything. But that's why we sell merch. That's why we do vinyl and we do shows, because we also don't make a whole lot of money at our shows. We make our money in merch now, so our merch has to be good. And that's where we make our money. That's where we make our money.
And every time we go see a concert, I love it when they have the vinyl records there.
That's also
because I will buy a vinyl record at that concert and stand in line just to get it autographed.
That's great.
You buy a vinyl record and you just basically paid for, I don't know, maybe 50,000 streams. I mean, seriously, that's
wonderful.
how much,
Well, I'm still doing my deed then.
there you go.
Yeah, doing the good deeds. Doing the good
He
deeds.
warned me about you, but
I'm pretty nice sometimes.
I fail to see what his problem is with you.
It's just with him. I only like certain people.
We'll talk later about what he said earlier today when I was working on his
Oh,
bus.
that's good, because
He
I
said
can always
some
take it out on him on later episodes.
Like I was
I
literally.
just told him I'm scared of you.
join the club.
I'm scared.
Scared. SKEERD. Man, my buddy Kevin Denny. You remember Kevin Denny?
Great writer.
Yeah, he wrote-
Alligator Tears, didn't he?
Crocodile. Yeah.
Crocodile alligator.
Isn't it?
See, Marty, look.
Cadillac
You made me say
tears.
alligator tears instead of.
That's all you, old man. That's all you.
I got it wrong too. It was Cadillac Tears. But Kevin didn't write that. That was Larry Cordell and Leslie Satcher. Leslie Satcher, by the way, if
She's a wonderful writer.
if she's ever in Central Texas, she comes here a lot. I will do my best to get her on the show.
Bring her.
Yeah,
I'd love to have her
She
on.
is a sweet lady, just a sweet lady, and just a powerhouse of a songwriter.
Yes,
Just-
she is.
I-
Yes, she is.
If I ever had the opportunity to write with her, I'd probably say no because I'd just be too afraid to. She just she wrote that. There's another song called Jesus and Bartenders that her and Larry wrote together that might, in my mind, might be the greatest country song ever.
Oh, wow.
I have to Google it.
Jesus and Bartenders. Larry has a version of it. Rebecca, what was her name? There was a female version. I think Joe Nichols has a version of it too. But Larry Cordell and Leslie has a version. But Larry Cordell's version of Jesus and Bartenders is great. The guy that does all my fiddle work, Glenn Duncan's playing fiddle on it, and it's
I got to check that
it's
out.
just a great
I
song.
love being turned on to new.
New stuff. Yeah.
Well, Larry's nobody new. I mean, he wrote Highway 40 Blues for Ricky Skaggs, and he's been around forever, but he's still cranking them out, man. He's still cranking them out. So,
Well, speaking of cranking them out, can you play us one? What you got? What were you thinking?
I think I'll start off soft. I'll play the next single, later if you want me to do another one. But
Sure.
Depends on how this one goes. I'm kidding.
so this song here, JD, you helped me promote this very much, but I'm very proud of this song. It's one of my favorite lines, and we've had conversations about my past, and I am no stranger to jails and institutions. You know what I mean? And that was a long time ago. But one of my favorite lines that I ever heard from anybody when I was trying to get better and leave that life behind was, "Pain is the touchstone of all spiritual growth." Pain is something that tells you that, oh, I better do something better. If you're uncomfortable about something, you can either self-medicate or destroy yourself somehow, or you can use that pain to make yourself better. That's what and that's what this song is about. And I talk about I bought an acre in Brady. I bought a historic home there, and then I bought the lot across the street behind the laundromat because Interstate 14 is coming through there, and I want them to have to pay my kids a lot of money to move that house. So that's what that's all about. But I've got a bunch of pecan trees on that property, and pecan trees are self-pruning. I should be out there pruning them, but they're always dropping their limbs, and they just keep going higher and higher and higher. And I appreciate when they drop their limbs because we don't use this at the barbecue joint, but I cook at home with pecan wood. That's my favorite. But anyway, this one's called Without a Little Pain. God, I took a long way around to get to this.
I like it though, Jarrod.
We are in no hurry.
Right.
All right, to make a long story short, don't ask Jarrod.
To make a long story longer, And by the
He gonna
way,
make a short story long.
and by the way, my buddy Jason Reardon, he'll always call me up and say, and he calls me Larry. He goes, "Hey Larry, what can I do to make your day longer?" Here's Without a Little Pain, y'all.
All right.
There's an old pecan tree standing guard for 50 years out in the yard. Each spring when the Texas storms bear down, a few more limbs crash to the ground, and I swear you can almost hear her cry. She just keeps on reaching to the sky, 'cause you won't see a rainbow till after the rain, and nothing grows without a little pain. When the mountain seems too high to climb, move it one stone at a time, and don't be a fool whistling in the dark. When you're wrong, admit your part, and don't polish a grudge until it shines. Let it go and leave the past behind, 'cause you won't see a rainbow till after the rain, and nothing grows without a little pain. No, you won't see a rainbow till after the rain, and nothing grows without a little pain. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. Say I love you every day, 'cause you'll get back what you give away. And if your soul is cracked from all your sins, well, that's just where the hope gets in. And you won't see a rainbow till after the rain, and nothing grows without a little pain. No, you won't see a rainbow till after the rain, and nothing grows without a little pain, and nothing grows without a little pain. La da 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 da. La da 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 da.
That was a huge hit. Huge hit on the Texas chart.
Thank y'all.
Man,
Very good.
I'm just over here just about dang near tearing up.
I'm sorry about my guitar rattling. I just realized my pickup and my back. So when I got this Glenn Duncan helped me get this guitar out of Colorado, and it was all acoustic at the time. So I installed a pickup in it, and I think the Texas heat has kind of hurt the adhesive that's holding like my battery pack over here, and then my volume and tone here. So they're just rattling around in there. So if there's some funny noise,
Make it a maraca.
if there's some funny noise going on, I'm sorry, y'all.
Giant maraca.
I'm sorry, y'all.
No, it's great song, by
great
the
song.
way.
What's that? Oh.
There we go. It looks like a blood drop on it.
Hang on. I feel like it's a Ouija board. Hang on. Here we go. What should I drink?
Will I perform good
Beer!
today? Yes or no?
Where should I go? Pioneer! That's great.
Oh, I got that on Nintendo.
That's,
you
I
did?
hope
Oh,
we're still on the
Jesus
air.
Christ.
Yeah, we're still in the air. We're still in the air.
But anyway, great song.
Thank you, buddy.
And,
Appreciate you.
You know the song you wrote
You just
with
kept a
Randy.
light, by the way. What kind of production crew are y'all running here?
It's a half butt one. That's for sure.
I've been hanging out at the bar too long.
She would make a great grip in Hollywood. You know
Oh
what
yeah,
I
I'm
mean?
sure.
Those are always the first ones to get fired. They're always the first ones to get fired.
Judge
kidding.
can't fire his wife.
Oh, yeah,
that's your
he can. Trust me, he can.
She fires me.
Yeah, she gonna fire his ass.
I just
Give
work
me,
here.
give me a second. Give me a second to pull my foot out of my mouth right
Yeah,
now. I'm
see?
so sorry, man. I am so sorry.
He didn't realize you were the wife.
She's the boss.
Oh,
I
there are
just
certain.
work
Yeah.
here.
You know,
And she can kick your ass off this show right now.
in the man code, there are certain things you don't do, and that is piss off another man's wife.
I was gonna say I piss her off
No,
all the time.
I'm
so-
sure you do, but when somebody else pisses her off for you, it doesn't end well for either of us.
Yeah.
Well, Judge is off the hook for the rest of the
Yeah, so
day.
she can be mad at
Thank
you
you
all
for that.
Hey, until she gets behind the wheel, and then the anger comes back.
You know, JD, you know this about me. Sometimes you just got to take one for the team, buddy. You
That's-
just got to take one for the team.
Something tells me I'm gonna have to get in the car. You and your friends. You and your friends.
What to do? I'm over there kicking lights and overheating cameras and
But Randy Travis, we got to talk about.
oh yeah,
Randy
let's talk about
because,
Randy.
I mean, the songs that you wrote with Randy, and Judge, I hope you get to hear these sometime. He actually has I think that we were talking about this actually off mic before the show. So
Yeah.
sometimes I get confused what we talk about before and during. But anyway, he's got a cassette version of just Randy Travis on a guitar in your living room or something, or where were you?
That was so.
But anyway, it's such a cool.
No, I'm pretty sure that was when Randy. I think we were at his place. So that was a song about my grandparents.
That's a great song.
And yeah, I think we were at. He was living in Ashland City, Tennessee at the time, and I think me and Ron Avis went out there. Yeah, it was because that's the first time I met Trigger Jr. Remember what was it? Roy Rogers' horse or Gene Autry's horse was Trigger? Which one was it? I feel like a horrible Texan right now.
No, I do too at the moment. 'Cause it's,
But anyway, but Trigger.
Good thing we have Google.
Trigger
and
was the
Siri.
Lone Ranger. Yeah, Google it. Was
No,
it?
Silver was the Lone Ranger.
Yes,
But Trigger was Trigger Jr. was
That's Willie's
the
guitar.
That's what I was gonna say. That's Willie's guitar.
I also have a dog named Trigger that I named after Willie's guitar. It's the circle of life, everybody.
Trigger.
Hey, tell me about. You mentioned you had a name for your guitar.
Yeah, Miss Emmy. So
Emmy.
Miss Emmy. And my buddy Charlie Yates, he's a retired bull rider, but he does leather work. So he
That is cool.
he made
That
this
is nice.
he made this pick guard for me, and
Can you hold it straight up to the camera?
Oh, yeah,
there?
yeah.
Look at it.
There
There
it
we go.
is.
yeah.
There
So
it
what we
is.
have here is we've got
Come and Take It.
we've got your Texas blue bonnets, we've got your yellow rose, you got the state of Texas with Come and Take It across it, and
Love it.
yeah, he did that all by hand. You can hear my battery rolling around in there. But yeah, so Miss Emmy, one of my favorite historical figures, it might be my favorite historical figures, is Emily West
Okay.
from the Texas Revolution, and what she had to do to not, number one, infiltrate Santa Anna's camps, and what she had to do with Santa Anna in order to, and she did this all on her own. That this was not asked of her. She just wanted Texas to be free,
Right.
and Texas would not be Texas without Emily West. It never would have happened.
Amen.
Never would have
That's-
happened. So
that's the
that's
truth.
yeah, that's God's honest
I'm a
truth.
studier of history.
It,
That's
it
absolutely
never
the
would have
truth.
happened, and so I just thought once I got that pick guard, I'm like, yeah, this is Miss Emmy.
Yeah.
So
Love
that's,
it.
yeah, so that's why. So
Love it.
Well, you got new songs coming.
I do, and if y'all want me to hang out a little longer, I'll have to tune back up. I have more than one guitar, but I only bring one at a time so I can tune back up and maybe do it if you want to hear one of those Randy Travis songs.
We're going to hear
later.
from one of our sponsors. We'll be right back with Jarrod Johnson after
No,
he returns.
I'd be more than happy to do maybe a separate segment or something like that. Just
No,
me,
we can
me doing
pause
that
for a
Randy
second.
Travis
Yeah,
song.
you want
back.
to take a break?
We'll
take a
come
quick
back.
break.
No, let me do this one. This is gonna be my
Oh,
next.
do it.
Oh,
There
okay.
you
This
go.
is gonna be my next single, and then we'll come back and I'll do one of those Randy Travis songs.
Perfect.
Okay.
I've been keeping them kind of under wraps. Warner Brothers, Warner Brothers and Sony. I've started my own publishing company, and they let me buy back almost everything. These songs they're kind of hanging on to because they say they're actively pitching, and I'm trying to work out a deal where maybe, and I've been emailing Randy's wife. Randy is obviously in rough shape these days, but my goal is to get this catalog of songs that I wrote with Randy and Ron Avis. I want to get that out to the public, and I want it pitched.
How cool
I
would
want
that be?
people. I want people
Yeah.
to start cutting them. So
Yeah.
it's going to take some negotiation, and you can't be. The music business is a business, and you see a lot of people. And I'm just going to say the word. You see a lot of people being assholes a lot of people being assholes, and I'm not going to mention any names, but it is a business, and sometimes you just have to be a part of the business and do what the business side requires. You can still make your music. You can still make, as great or as horrible music as you want to. But sometimes you kind of just got to cooperate with the business if you want things done. If I wanted to be a real
Calling marriage.
Yeah, it's compromise, man. It's absolute compromise, and
you just got to comply sometimes. It doesn't make sense. You just got to comply.
I can guarantee you, if I would have been an
like
absolute
marriage?
butthead about these songs, I wouldn't be in the position today where they might be letting them loose. So it helps. I know Chris Lacey, she's second in command now to Scott Hendricks over there, and I knew Chris when she was in publishing at Warner Chappell. So we've kind of. She's made a lot more money than I have, and she drives a whole lot nicer vehicle. But it's still nice to have friends like that. So, it does pay. You're not going to please everybody, and I know I have upset Chris Lacey once or twice, but I've always come back and apologized and tried to make amends for things. So that, there's something to be said for that. I just see a lot of people on social media, even national people, just being absolute assholes. Just selfish, self-entitled. Just, I don't get it.
They're assholes on social media, but you try to see them in person, then they're all like,
it's different.
Yeah. I don't get it. I don't get it. I appreciate social media. I appreciate what it does for us, and a lot of people, when I start having the conversations about streaming media and stuff like that and what it pays, they're like, well, it's great exposure. Well, look, I've got 3 daughters. I've got 3 grandkids. Going to be number 4 here pretty quick. I have never bought groceries or Christmas presents with exposure, people. I've never done it. So, I mean, that's just all there is. That's all there is to it. No, I'll play this next one. So my buddy Travis Meadows, if y'all don't know Travis Meadows, look him up. One of my heroes. I was in a few places with him to get self-help. I'm just going to leave it at that. He's wrote a lot of hits. He wrote Riser for Dierks Bentley. Was it Pretty Little Lie for Blackberry Smoke?
ooh, I like that.
Yeah, he Knives of New Orleans for Eric Church, one of the coolest songs Eric Church ever cut. Knives of New Orleans.
Wow.
Travis is just a great dude, and he kind of had it was kind of like a botched back surgery. It was an emergency back surgery, but it kind of got botched. And so for like 2 years, he couldn't play guitar. He couldn't even talk. And when he would talk, it sounded like he was having a stroke. And so Jeffrey Steele did a huge benefit. So Jeffrey Steele, Craig Wiseman, all those big songwriters,
Right.
they did a huge benefit for him to cover his costs. But Travis is coming back now. I actually talked to him the night I sent you the demo for the song I'm about to play, because it's something Travis always said to me: if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. And so he's doing better, and I really want to see him get back into writing again, because the music world is better when Travis Meadows is writing songs. But
Love it.
anyway, yeah, Travis Meadows would always tell me this, and I thought I'd make a song out of it. So here we go. Tommy was a quarterback from Lake Travis on a scholarship to Tennessee. That Alabama linebacker took him out his third game. He never quite recovered, so after graduation, the pros had changed their mind. Now he's living in College Station, the quarterback coach at A&M. And if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. The solid ground you think you're standing on just might be shifting sand. He's gonna let you know that he's got the whole wide world right in his hands. If you wanna make God laugh, tell him your plans. Lacey was the prettiest girl in Mason County, got married right out of school. 2.5 kids living the American dream. She had a revelation when she caught her husband with a stripper from Copper's Cove. So she moved out west, now she's on the cover of Playboy magazine. And if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. The solid ground you think you're standing on just might be shifting sand. He's gonna let you know that he's got the whole wide world right in his hands. If you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. verse is about me, by the way. Just thought I'd throw that out there. I cut a trail straight out to Music City, gonna set the world on fire. For 17 years I played my songs in vain. Thinking I failed, I came back to Texas and y'all started singing along. Then I fell in love with a hill country girl, and man, I wouldn't change a thing. And if you wanna make God laugh, tell him your plans. The solid ground you think you're standing on just might be shipping sand. He's gonna let you know that he's got the whole wide world right in his hands. If you wanna make God laugh, tell him your plans. Tell him your plans.
Yeah, man. Mentioned Hill Country, Mason.
Oh yeah, I mentioned Mason. I even mentioned Copper's Cove.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing good
The
happens.
stripper from Copper's
Stripper from Cocker's Cove.
That's right. Well, all those Fort Hood strippers can't afford to live there, so they got to move out to Copper's Cove.
Oh my God.
Don't ask me how I know that.
I'm not. Especially since my husband used to live there. I'm not going to ask that question.
Please don't. Okay, now I'm in trouble with two wives.
No, you're not. You're
I am
not.
never
Not
coming
with
here
me.
again. JD, I
You've
think
done it.
I think it's time for us to terminate our friendship, buddy.
We are done here, but hey, finish the lights in my bus first.
No, we'll finish the lights in the bus and let us and Tomato. Let's take a break.
You want to do one more for us? All right.
Yeah,
We'd love for you.
Yeah, I'd love to do. Just let me get tuned back up to normal tuning, and then I'll do that. I'll do a Randy Travis song for y'all that I wrote with him about my
love it.
grandparents. So.
Perfect.
I love
It's
it.
Well,
really
I guess
perfect.
since Jarrod's directing the show, we might as well just go ahead, say cut.
Good.
And back in a flash, as promised, Jarrod Johnson is going to do. This is a song you wrote with Randy Travis, right?
With Ron Avis and Randy Travis, I can give you a quick. Well, it's never a quick backstory.
The story
with me.
about the song.
And here we go.
And here we go. So
You got the time?
No,
So back around the time my grandfather, this was before my grandmother died, but right after my grandfather died, and Randy at the time was doing a lot of movies. He was like doing, I think it was Fire Down Below with like Steven Seagal, and he was in one of those movies.
Was he in one of them trucker movies?
He was in a trucker movie.
Was Meatloaf in that one?
Yes, and he was in that one. There was a lawyer movie with Matt Damon that Randy was in, where he was like a juror that they pissed off, and he like jumped over the bench and started beating on the judge and stuff. And it just classic Randy acting. But no, he was very very much in acting back then. But my grandfather had died, and I drove to Nashville in this little '84 Dodge Omni that. Meant the linkage would always fall off, so like I couldn't. It was a manual. The thing got like 83 miles a gallon. It was great, but the linkage was always. So I was always having to pull over and like put the linkage back together so I could just shift gears. But anyway, the Omni had taken a dump, and I had no vehicle really at the time, so I jumped in one of my publisher's trucks, and I started heading north to Wisconsin to go to the funeral. Well, the transmission tore out of that truck in Neoga, Illinois.
You're never going to borrow one of our vehicles.
No.
Go ahead.
It tore out of the truck, and I was so worried about it. And I was calling I was 20. I don't even think I was 21 yet, but I was calling my mom, and I'm like, oh, I was crying, and I'm stuck at this truck stop, and called my dad, and they're like, you'll figure it out, JD boy. And so I started playing for tips at the truck stop, and I made enough money to get a Greyhound ticket back to Nashville. And I was so worried about what Ron was going to say when he got back, because I didn't tell him when he was on the road. And he came back, I'm like, Ron, look, this is what happened. And your truck's up in Neoga, Illinois with no transmission. And him and, well, he had a bunch of vehicles, but him and another guy that, huge influence on me, his name was Ledford Heron. He was a Texas troubadour for Ernest Tubb. So him and Ledford went up and got the truck and towed it back, and everything was fine. But I was so worried about that. But anyway, after that, Ron and I had started writing this song, and he thought, let's bring this one to Randy. Let's see what he can do with it. So anyway, this one's called The Edge of Town, and we've all had people.
I love this song.
We've all had people in our family that, we want to stay, and me too, I want to stay out in the boondocks as long as I can, but I know eventually I'm just going to have to, I got to get closer to the doctors and the hospitals, you know what I mean? So... For almost 50 years, he plowed the same old ground where he and Mrs. Johnson settled down. Growing corn and raising kids was sometimes hard to do, but farming was all they ever knew. So with their age against them, they could barely work the fields, and with failing health, they finally had to yield to the edge of town. The edge of town where help, if needed, could be found. To the east is everything the city can provide, and to the west is everything they left behind. Now every day the sun goes down onto people who are found on the front porch, living their new lives on the edge of town. She still bakes his favorite pies, but now they sometimes burn, 'cause the kitchen just don't feel like hers. She misses her old house like he misses all the land, but he'll smile and take her by the hand and say the farm is far away, but our love will never fade. And as long as we're together, we're okay on the edge of town. The edge of town where help, if needed, can be found. To the east is everything the city can provide, and to the west is everything they left behind. Now every day the sun goes down onto people who are found on the front porch, living their new lives on the edge of town. Until the good Lord calls them home, they're not going anywhere, and they pray they go together when they climb those golden stairs, or on the edge of town.
Man, what a song.
Yeah, what a song.
Thank you.
I can totally hear Randy Travis singing that.
I'll play you when we get done. I'll pull up the work tape. You can hear I had to convert it to digital, but you can hear like the boombox squeaking that we were recording it on.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really
It'll
cool.
make you tear up.
It's
Yeah.
really good.
It
Yeah, he does.
will make you
Obviously,
tear
he
up.
sells it a lot more than I do, but I was just happy to be a part of it. And
Yeah,
that was-
Great
it was-
song.
that
I'm
was
glad you
really-
played it on
No,
the
it was
show,
really
too,
cool
so.
when he found out about my grandparents. He's like, "Yeah, let's put their name in it. Let's write one." And yeah, it was pretty cool.
Make sure you pitch that too.
I'm going to.
'cause I could hear a lot of artists doing that one.
Once-
even like Jamie Johnson. Can you imagine
Well,
Jamie
oh yeah.
Johnson?
Once somebody green lights my tomfoolery, I will be pitching it like crazy. But until I get the green light, you got to play it safe. You got to play it. You don't want to make Warner Chappell and Sony mad at you, because they could see to it that your career has ended really quick. So I'm just trying to do it the right way and the polite way,
Sure.
and everything else,
Yeah.
and that's it, man. So, but yeah, I will definitely. It's looking good. We're within the next year or so. That whole catalog, I should be able to start pitching. So
Beautiful.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, Jarrod Johnson, thanks for joining
Thank
us.
you all so
Yeah,
much.
no,
Hey,
thank
dude,
you
it was
for
so
taking
good to meet you
It
finally.
was good to meet you finally.
And thank you for making him look at least somewhat pretty.
We do what we can.
It's there's a lot. What's your makeup budget on
yeah,
this show?
I need to pick that up a little bit.
It's the same as your streaming.
I need some makeup on top of my head here. Yeah.
Remember that old spray hair? Remember that
Oh yeah,
stuff?
yeah. Will you spray hair? Spray the top.
Let's
of
do that because my hair's getting thin too.
Okay.
I will come back to this podcast.
We'll go spray Judge's mom.
We're gonna spray hair each other. It's gonna happen. Do you remember that stuff?
I do actually. Actually,
Word.
now they have hair fibers where it's just powder now that you could put on your hair.
I'm all for it. Let's do it. Let's see what happens.
All right, that's a wrap, y'all. Thank you, Judge.
Thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all.
Another fun Judge and JD show. We talked Fredericksburg. We talked Texas barbecue. We talked Texas music. We talked Wheel of Fortune. A couple of great guests today.
I think I might even have Jimmy talked into taking that Wheel of Fortune money up to WinStar this weekend and parlaying it.
Can I go?
Yeah, absolutely. We can take the
go.
bus. We can take the bus. Take
All
your
right.
bus.
That's only because Judge doesn't like to drive. Let's be honest. Judge does not like to drive and will.
I don't. And in fact, I was telling JD, I think one of the things we need to do is start taking his bus up to these casinos that aren't too far away.
Heck
Bring
yeah.
some groups from Fredericksburg.
I'll do it. Let's
Hey.
do it. I'm serious.
I think we should.
That'd
Good
be
stuff.
a lot of fun. That'd be a hoot. We want to thank our guest today, Jimmy Alexander, your father-in-law, who was on Wheel of Fortune, did a great job. And, of course, Jarrod Johnson, Texas singer-songwriter, did a great job today as well. It was a fun show.
Yep. And we want to thank the star of the show, our viewers. And we appreciate you a whole lot.
Like, subscribe, and get notified.
You got it.